How's it going, everybody? It's Shinigami. I'm here to bring you another reaction video. So, as many of you have seen, we have a Spider-Man actual trailer. Yesterday they had a teaser, but I'm like, I'm not going to do something on that. We'll wait till the actual trailer comes out. And honestly, that's probably the only good thing Marvel has going for it right now is the Spider-Man movies. Obviously they've had their whole debacle with phase 5 and 4 kind of being a little bit of a shitstorm. So to see where they're at, it's not bad. Maybe leaning a little too heavy on some of the cameos or the supportive characters, but I mean, MCU's gonna MCU, right? They've at least seemed to have taken criticism a little better on the direction they're trying to take this, because now they're kind of giving us what we wanted. A Spider-Man that is struggling and isn't actually having everything given to him. Whereas, obviously, a lot of the complaints came from the first two MCU Spider-Man movies. Was that, or even the third one, I guess. You know, Spider-Man kind of felt like Iron Man's sidekick instead of Spider-Man, the man portion of it, right? Like owning up, doing things on his own, figuring shit out, creating, you know, obviously he created the web shooters, but his first suit that he made, you know, obviously very janky, based off of the comics and other things like that. And we didn't get an actual nice suit that wasn't Stark Tech until the end of No Way Home, when he finally has to make his own suit, because there's no more assistance, there's no Happy, there's nothing else he actually can piggyback off of. And yeah, I'm gonna try and react to it. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna probably have to pause frequently, because I don't know if Sony is the kind of people to be like, you know what, strike that bitch, copyright it, whatever. But trailer seems nice. I do this all over again. I fucked up 3 times already. God damn it. Whatever. Continuing from the last time. Stuff got copyrighted, so we gotta be more careful, trying not to have any audio from the trailer. Hopefully that helps. And shorter intervals in between. It's only a 2-minute 40-second fucking thing, but I'll kind of breeze through it a little bit. You know, obviously we start off with him still very much heavily concerned for his ex-friends that don't know him, but you know, he still got to do Spider-Man shit. As I was saying in the last time, kind of callbacks to the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield-esque thing, right? Where he's just getting shots like this, him falling, free falling, and you see a little further on, you know, he still writes to them, but he doesn't actually give them the letters. He keeps trying to contact them and tell them in a way that, you know, we used to be friends, I had to do something, and you know, now that I'm telling you that we're actually friends, can you believe me, please? But he's not really been able to work up that courage. And obviously we see stuff like this where they obviously see stuff with Spider-Man still popping up, and they probably get some kind of like member berries, nostalgia, whatever, floating back to their brains, but can't necessarily put a face to why. Yep, just got a Peter Parker that's having to actually take on the responsibility of being a hero, putting his own life on the back burner. This is what I was saying. This kind of reminds me of the Amazing Spider-Man stuff, the way that this whole interaction with Frank Castle and all that plays out. And you know, it's curious to see how Jon Bernthal will be portraying Punisher? Will it be more explicit language, hardcore violence, or will it be toned down because it's a Spider-Man movie? I don't know. We'll find out in July. And we see Spider-Man still lurking around. MJ's getting hit on, and Tom Holland Spider-Man's like, but shit's happening to him that is unexplained. I want to say it's because of what happened with Doctor Strange. That'd be the only thing I can think of that would be an explanation for why his body is mutating, evolving, some would say. Yeah, you have this whole scene, right, with the cocoon webbing and all this stuff like that, which is a callback to another bit of the comics where he basically gets abilities increased for a short while. But also, yeah, then he doesn't need to have the little chemical web shooter things. No, he just does it like Tom Holland. Or sorry, Tobey Maguire. Goddamn, too many people. Oh, yes. Yes, our favorite fucking asshole. Bruce Banner, look at that. I keep seeing ESU. Empire State University. Okay, so that's what that tie-in is for Marvel Rivals. I was so confused. I kept seeing ESU, and I'm like, it's not an actual school name, so... And I didn't see actually any abbreviations on other shit, so... Makes more sense now. But, yeah, this is going to tie into some of the leaks that I'll kind of go over slightly. But, something to remember is that the Hulk has two personalities. Actually has two basically different people living in him, right? You have Bruce Banner, person that usually would be in charge. And then you have the Incredible Hulk, which is his own entity. He's not Bruce Banner. He is Hulk. And so when that Doctor Strange spell kind of went off, one might have forgotten, but the other did not. Or even maybe they both did not forget because of the whole gamma radiation and other magical aspects to the Hulk being the Hulk. But in this scene, he basically says, what was your name again? And obviously I'm sure Peter will tell him his name, which would cause Bruce to be like, that's weird, because I remember you, but I almost feel like I shouldn't. Maybe that'd be a way to work around that whole thing. But as well, as you can see there on his hand, he's got some kind of gamma device that has made him revert back and stay probably more controlled as my god, my brain. Oh, I don't know. This should work though. It should work from what we're seeing. Anyways, continue. As he says, if it were to evolve your body, it's going to be really dangerous. Yeah, very dangerous indeed. But like I said, increased strength. One of the main things. Could be increased emotion too. Also, there was this thing that people were saying could probably be Jean Grey. That this person right here, because those are women hands, not a man's hands. And we already know from the leaks that she does appear. Seemingly, she's the one who is kind of making Hulk revert back into Savage Hulk. Probably one of the best things they could do is bring back Savage Hulk. And possibly also controlling Frank Castle. But it might not be. It might just be that's how Frank is. So, nothing really too crazy there. And we continue. And we see, what the hell? She just... people transferring abilities. Here we have the Hand. Usually a Daredevil villain and Frank Castle and all that stuff, but this one is more leaning on the Spider-Man aspect of it all. There we have Voss from Far Cry 3. Very cool dude. Very cool indeed. Oh yeah, look at these. Oh, and then the fucking action shots that are one for one poses and scenery in the back from, you know, his first issues, which are pretty fucking dope. Yeah, like this one. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if they jump him or if he was having a fair fight and they thought he cheated, so then now they're gonna beat him up. I think it's the only thing I can think of that would make sense. Yeah, and then all that negative space there that you see nobody, but clearly the ninjas on the bottom are pointing and going in that direction of whoever's in the bottom. More than likely Daredevil. Only thing that would make sense. Yup, rebirth. Brand new day. Yee. Brought you 2 cheese. Well, 2 cakes. There you go. I hope that was chopped up enough to count. But don't hold your breath. Anyways, Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer shatters records with a whopping 718.6 million views, the biggest movie trailer launch in history, which it's fine that that's what it's getting for the weekend. But, yeah, it's definitely been different this time around. Spider-Man Brand New Day is already web slinging its way to. Alright. Let's see. The Spidey trailer broke the previous record held by Deadpool and Wolverine, which was at 365 million views in just 8 hours. Spider-Man's hit 373 in the same time. And this was backed by the fact that Deadpool 3's trailer dropped during the Super Bowl. And yeah, even No Way Home back then only sat at around 355 in 24 hours. So yeah, clearly this one has a lot more legs to stand on, which I would say the reason why it's probably the way it is with so many people anticipating Spider-Man over the other Marvel stuff is we really haven't had a bad Spider-Man movie. Maybe you didn't like that he relied too much on Iron Man stuff, but when it comes down to it, his movies did pretty well and are still doing significantly well, and nobody really else that Marvel can piggyback off of, since they've lost so many heavy hitters from Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., Hawkeye, Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, you have the Hulk, but he's kind of his own problem to deal with. You have the person that plays Yelena. She's not really as endearing as Black Widow was, Natasha. Shang-Chi, nope, same fucking issue. The Eternals, they could be interesting, but doesn't really pertain to what we're looking at here. Any character that I would think would fit in with this, again, besides all the Deadpool, yes, Deadpool would definitely fit with Spider-Man, but probably not this one right now because he's too depressed, and Ryan Reynolds will probably be a little too jokey for all that. Not only does Spider-Man Brand New Day have the biggest trailer in history, it's the biggest trailer period. It surpassed last year's trailer for the hotly anticipated video games Grand Theft Auto 6, which has pulled in 475 million views in 24 hours to become the biggest video trailer ever until now. So yeah, just a bunch of good praise. A lot of the stuff going on. Can't really complain about it. Again, it's a collab between Sony and Marvel. Can only really hope that it does what it's supposed to do. But I think we'll have it finished off the way I had it in the original one. So I'm out from there. Let's see. But yeah, that's basically this Spider-Man trailer. I'm not obviously gonna have this video out until the next day, but we should have a little bit more info coming out July 31st. Not a bad window, honestly. And at least this year we actually have a lot more films that are actually good that are coming out, as opposed to last year where we had a bunch of shit films. You had Snow White, you had what was his name? You had Superman, that was bad. You had Fantastic Four. Wasn't necessarily bad, but it wasn't great. Whatever else? I'm seeing there's so little that I can remember from last year with the movies that actually made an impact, but neither here nor there. We got a good film coming out, hopefully all fingers crossed on this fucking thing, because MCU has a track record recently, and this one at least has the backing with Sony. Obviously they have their own fucking ordeal with their movies, because they don't want to put Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse fucking movies and shit, but whatever. This is a lot better because it is the two companies having to come together to make the one actually good. You know, otherwise they both lose out on fucking money and they'll both be pissed. So far they have not failed on making a good Spider-Man movie. Obviously, opinions are subjective, but I would say they haven't failed yet. And with that being said, that is the trailer reaction. A little bit of info, a little bit of leaks, possibly. Maybe not, so I don't get in trouble. None of it's true. None of it's true at all. It's all fake, guys. But if it is true, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that's going to be it for me, though. Y'all have a good night, good evening, good morning. I'll see you next time. Adios.